So hello everyone. Good evening. So yesterday we are done with the various process of the science and technology and their various types. Okay. So today we will go with the very process of stem cells. Okay. So at the very last portion I have directly discussed about a brief about the stem cell. Okay. So hence I will go in details with respective to the stem cells. So see, the stem cells, what I have referred you yesterday, we know that stem cells are special human cells that have the ability to develop into many different cell types. Example being the nerve cells, the heart cells, okay? And this directly develops during the early life and growth. They can also act as an internal repair system in many tissues in the body. And when a stem cells divide, each new cell that is being formed has the potential to either retain or remain a stem cell or become another type of cell which can have more than a specialized function that a cell performs. Hence, we can see that the stem cells has got different perspective of its different perspective with respect to its properties. We can see that the stem cells are unspecialized, and stem cells can even give rise to some form of specialized cells upon their potential to either remain a stem cell or to become a specialized stem cell. In this broad classification, you can see the type of stem cells which you can see over here. Okay, the classification of the stem cells. Okay, the totipotent. Okay, you can see over here the totipotent. The totipotent stem cell can form all the cells of the body, including the ones in the extra embryonic embryos. And we can see that in humans, the two cell stage dichotic totipotent system is very common, which is very much prevalent in the Homo sapiens. But in a pluripotent stem cell, you can see that this type of stem cells had got some of the very essential need to support and develop a fetus in the very poor. So we could say that these pluripotent stem cells, or be it the totipotent stem cells, these are very essential classifications of the type of stem cells that can be found in a human being. And this type of stem cells can be divided into various stages based on their ability to perform or to function in various number of specialized cells. Okay, so you can get over here is the totipotent, then we have got the pluripotent. Okay, then we are going with the multipotent, then lastly the unipotent. Okay, so this very potency of the classification of this type of stem cells is a necessity. And you can see even in the multipotent, it directly says about that it can give rise to only a small number of different cell types. Example, bone marrow contains multipotent stem cells that can give rise to all blood cell types, but not other cells. And with respect to the unipotent, we can see that it is found in adult tissues, and the unipotent stem cell has the lowest different potential of all the stem cells. So in this potency of these stem cells, we could see about unipotent, multipotent, pluripotent, and totipotent. In this unipotent, we have a single layer of stem cell, which can even be found in the tissues of an adult. And hence, it could be differentiated with the lowest potential of all the stem cells that we have in our body. With respect to the multipotent, we can see that various small number of different cell types, okay, unipotent सब मिलके सब जाके multipotent होते हैं. एंड ये सब मल्टीपोटेंसी जब होता है ना पूरा स्टेम सेल्स में, ये कहाँ पे फॉर्म होता है? ये होता है डायरेक्टली थ्रू द बोन मैरो. Because in this bone marrow, we could see this multipotent stem cells directly form, which give rise to some of the blood cell types. But we can see that these are differentiated as example with respect to the unipotent ones. Similarly, in the pluripotent also, you can see more than two. In the unipotent, we have one. In the multipotent, we have more than one. Okay. If it directly increases the more than two level, then we are directly going with the pluripotent level. Okay, and when we reach the stage of totipotent, you can see that it directly forms the embryonic membranes, that is the placenta, where the very newborn child will be kept. Okay, and this two cell stage zygote is directly been told as a totipotent in nature. Okay, so this is in respective with the classification of this type of stem cells. Okay, the very sources of the stem cells, okay, can be of three types. We have three particular sources of the stem cells. What are the sources? The three main sources of the stem cells are, can be number one, it can be defined as the embryos that are formed during the phase of the embryological development, which leads to the formation of the embryonic type of stem cell. When the stem cell is directly generating, when the embryo is directly generating inside the mother's womb, we could see that each phase has got an embryonic development. And this embryological development leads to the formation of the type of stem cell which is known as the embryonic type of stem cell. The second source with respect to the stem cell is the bone marrow, which I have already told you just now. Okay, the bone marrow, where you could find the adult type of stem cell. Okay, so in this bone marrow, the adult type of stem cell can be relatively found. Okay, where you could see the very peripheral blood tissues directly works in tandem with this type of stem cells. Okay, so hence this very category, if I am directly supposed to tell you about what is a bone marrow, so the bone marrow is a spongy substance found in the center of the bones. It's a type of spongy substance. Between the very bone, you could find this type of spongy substance. Okay, and it manufactures the very bone marrow stem cells and various other stem cells, which in turn directly forms the blood cells. So each type of blood cell made by the bone marrow has an important job to perform. And here you could say about the RBCs. Okay, the red blood cells or the red blood corpuscles that carry oxygen to the tissues in the very body. So hence in this bone marrow, we could find the adult type of stem cell, which directly transfers the blood, which directly makes the very blood with the help of the RBCs. And in the very last, we could see the umbilical cord, the placenta, okay, the foetal element are all sources of this type of stem cells. Okay, so these three main sources, one is the what? The embryonic type of stem cell, which is directly formed during the embryological development. After the embryos form during the blastocyst phase of this embryonic development. So this is also important. Second one is respective with the bone marrow. What I have told you about bone marrow, it's particularly a spongy substance found in the center of the bones. Okay, so in the very adult type of stem cell can be found over here. And the umbilical cord or the placenta, okay, जो हम लोग का नाभि होता है, तो नाभि से हम लोग का through this very nabi, a particular umbilical cord is being joined, okay, which is joined to our mother's body. So this umbilical cord, the placenta, it directly has the very sources of the stem cells for the regeneration of life. Okay, so hence in these various types of stem cells, if I am directly going with the very definition of the embryonic stem cells, we can see that these stem cells are derived from the embryos, what I have already told you, and that have developed from the eggs that are fertilized in a vitro, okay, in vitro, or if it's directly going with the lab, that is known as the IVF, in vitro fertilizations, okay. So they directly go with the in vitro fertilization clinics, and these are given for research purposes with the consent of the donors, okay. And this particular stem cells are not taken from the eggs that are fertilized in the human body. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो फर्टिलाइजेशन एक नॉर्मल प्रोसेस में एक ह्यूमन बॉडी के अंदर हो सकता है, उसको हम लोग कंसीडर नहीं करते इसमें। स्टेम सेल को निकाला कैसे जाता है? स्टेम सेल को जब निकाला जाता है तो उसका मतलब क्या होता है? दैट पर्टिकुलर एग कैन नॉट डायरेक्टली हैविंग अ फर्टिलाइजेशन इनसाइड द ह्यूमन बॉडी, so it should go with the respective IVF facility. So these embryonic stem cells remain undifferentiated or unspecialized till their culture is grown under specific conditions. सो इसके लिए एक प्रॉपर कल्चर होना चाहिए, इसके लिए एक प्रॉपर प्रोसेस होना चाहिए, तब जाके ये फॉर्म होगा. Hence, we can see that one cell are allowed to form these embryonic bodies which begin to differentiate spontaneously. And they can form as many types, like be it the nerve cell, be it the heart muscle cell, be it the brain cell, कुछ भी हो सकता है उसके बाद. So we collect the very stem cells from the respective, through a respective therapy, which can even be told as the next thing, which is very much written over here, which I am directly highlighting, is the stem cell therapy. Okay, the stem cell therapy. So it's a type of treatment option that uses patient's own stem cells to repair damaged tissues and repair injuries. Suppose मेरा एक stem cell है, ठीक है, तो मेरा जो टिश्यू है, because of some of the injury, my tissue, my very system is totally damaged. तो इसके लिए कोई medications नहीं. So here I will be going with the type of this type of genetic engineering process. And through this stem cell therapy, I will directly extract the very required number of stem cells, which is very much required to repair my damaged tissue. And hence, through this therapy, I am directly repairing my own tissue, which has been directly been damaged due to some of the accidents or due to some of the any type of conditions. Okay, or due to some of the various disorders. It may be some of the intramuscular disorders, it may be some of the neuromuscular disorders, it may be some form of degenerative disorders. Okay, supposedly here it is purely latency because the bone marrow transport is used in leukemia, blood cancer, okay, sickle cell anemia, immunodeficiency disorders. So there are various disorders which could be seen that this type of stem cell therapy directly acts as something which is very much of crucial, just because we have seen that this stem cell therapy or this particular stem cells directly regenerate our growth with respective to that particular tissue. Okay, so hence for the proper formation of the nerve cells, of the heart muscle cells, of the brain cells, we could directly go with such type of stem cell therapies. We could go with such type of genetical engineering process. Okay. Hence, this very embryonic embryonic stem cells, okay, is directly been associated even with the adult stem cells. Okay, I have told you about the very sources. Okay, we have said that the bone marrow are the source of the adult type of stem cells. I already told you what bone marrow is, a spongy substance that is found in the center of the bones. Okay, so this very bone marrow performs an immediate role to repair the tissue in which they are. जहां पे भी ये स्टेम सेल मिलता है, उसी के बेसिस पे, उसी को ही नजरअंदाज, उसी को ही नजर देख के हम लोग देख के उसको एक अच्छे से उसको साइंटिफिक वे में हम लोग थेरापी करके we will directly refer this particular type of cell to repair the respective tissue. Okay, so hence these adult stem cells are found in a specific area of each tissue, and they are even found in many organs, be it the bone marrow organ, be it the brain organ, be it the teeth, be it heart, be it the liver, be it the peripheral blood system, be it in the testes, be it in the ovaries. Everywhere we could find this type of adult system or this type of adult stem cells. Because the main role of the adult stem cells in a living organism is to maintain and repair the tissue in which they are respectively found. So if there is a loss of tissue with respective to that particular organ, we could directly regenerate the stem cell which has been damaged. We could directly go with the laboratory. We will directly go with the process to inject it back to the respective organ through which it is particularly damaged. So hence, this embryonic stem cell, these adult stem cells, these are very crucial to repair the damages that has been occurred by respective the tissues. So in these respective stem cells, we could see the various advantages. Okay, you can see there are various advantages. Okay, there are various advantages in it. It is immense medical benefits, treatment of conditions and disorders. Okay, a better knowledge and human growth. Okay, cure development before they can happen, reduce risks of rejection. Okay, so all these areas, okay, all these areas we could see these various immense medical benefits. Okay, because it offers a lot of medical benefits in therapeutic cloning and regenerative medicines. Because some type of bone marrow dysfunctions, some type of degenerative functions, okay, which could not be, or some type of cancer problems which cannot be directly been regenerated. Using such type of stem cell therapy, we could directly say about the types of the medical benefits that it can directly go with. Okay. So hence, we have got a large number of stem cells used for the bone marrow transplantations. Okay, the bone marrow transplantation. Because this bone marrow transplantation is known as a clinical application of the stem cell transplantation, and here we could directly go with the transplantation where different blood cell types are restored back to this respective bone marrow or to this respective spongy substance which is called as a bone marrow. Okay, but we can see supposedly if you have a bone marrow type of cancer, okay, supposedly you have a bone marrow cancer and you are going with a chemo, that is known as a chemotherapy or a radiotherapy. So the chemotherapy or the radiotherapy, the very process of the chemotherapy or radiotherapy, it directly eliminates, eliminates the endogenous cancer cells, but the blood cells gets damaged when you are taking some type of chemos or some type of radioactive substances. So to restore this type of blood cells which are getting damaged, we can use the stem cell therapy where different blood cell types are being restored by using the stem cells of the respective organs to which it has getting a particular damage. जो भी supposedly you have been affected with the bone marrow में तुम्हारा क्या हो रहा है, you have got a cancer, so the chemos, the very radiotherapies are given to eliminate the endogenous cancer cells, but in this due process the very blood cells of this bone marrow organ is directly getting damaged. So in this very area, to restore or to regenerate the blood cells with respect to this bone marrow, we are been going with the type of the application of the stem cells. We'll extract the stem cells over here. Okay, we'll go with the very process of the stem cell therapy. We'll then inject it back to the respective place, which will regenerate the type or which will restore the type of blood cells that is very much active near the bone marrow. Okay, so hence it offers a lot number of medical benefits in various types of regenerative medicines also. It has also got some of the use with respect to the skin replacement. See, the skin stem cells which are found in the hair follicles can be removed by plucking the hair. You all know that, okay? If you directly pluck the very hair or in the hair follicle, you can directly remove out even the skin stem cells, okay, which gets dry, okay, with respect to this very skin. By using the skin stem cells, which are directly plugged on with respect to the hair follicle, the scientist can grow skin from the plugged hair of the person. Because this particular follicles of the hairs, okay, they are closely or they are purely attached to the human body or to the human skin, and the skin stem cells are cultured to form an epidermal equivalent of the person's own skin and provides tissue for the autologous graft. In this due process, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं कि ये जो टोटल प्रोसेस है मैंने जो बताया अभी, यहां पे हम लोग क्या करेंगे, जो आदमी को हम लोग को एक स्किन रिप्लेसमेंट टाइप का, वो क्यों आए हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ द स्किन रिप्लेसमेंट थेरापी. This man will be called upon by the doctor or with respect to the therapy specialist. So they will call them, okay, they will pluck the very hair follicle which is very much attached to the skin cell. And by using this type of skin stem cells, the scientist can grow, because he knows that with the type of hair follicle that I receive, obviously I will get a skin stem cells, okay, at the very bottom. So the skin stem cells are then cultured in a very equidermal solvent where we could see that the person's skin can be regenerated in respective to the hair follicle that has been collected. So in this very way, we could directly regenerate or replace the skin of the respective person which has got damaged due to some type of disease or due to some type of accidents or due to any particular instance. So through this way, we could even go with the skin replacement. Okay. If I'm directly going with the brain replacement, so how you can directly go with the brain cell transplantation? This brain cell transplantation or this very stem cells has got a due requirement when a person suffers from such type of Parkinson disease or a type of Alzheimer disease. जो भूल जाते हैं लोग Alzheimer disease को क्या बोलते हैं? जैसे मैं I am the faculty of yours, okay, I am the faculty of CSAP. So at that point of time, I may forget that I was a faculty of the CSAP. So you all will come that, sir, you have taught us in these very subjects, okay. So we just came here to directly know about your health. Then I will directly say, okay, so I don't recognize you, and I will say something very much of other things, okay, which is not at all suitable for a normal person. So at that time, I will directly be suffering from the Alzheimer's disease. So even this Alzheimer's disease, which cannot be cured, obviously, okay, the problems can be improved with respect to some of the medications, but we all know that these problems cannot be directly medically directly diagnosed. So hence, in this due process, by replenishing the damaged tissue of my brain cell, because it is directly affecting my brain, okay, so regenerating this very brain cell which has been affected, and because of that particular damage of the tissue, I have been suffering from the Alzheimer's disease. So in this due process, I will directly attack, or I will directly make the very cell or the very tissue which has been damaged will be regenerated through the brain cell transplantation system by using the application of the stem cells. Okay, even you can go with the treatment of the diabetes. So see, we have got an immense medical benefit with respect to this type of stem cells. Because see, if I directly go with the diabetes thing, we all know diabetes is caused by the abnormal metabolism of insulin. Okay, because we know that it is produced by the islets of the Langerhans located in the pancreas. We all know about such. And because we have seen that the future of this very, nowadays, what do you do? The people who are suffering from the diabetes, they take insulins, they inject insulins in their body. So the future result might aim at providing a stem cell based therapy to treat the diabetes and replace the constant need for the insulin injections with respect to that pancreas. So if I directly identify the respective tissue, the respective cell, which has been degenerated because of the lack of insulin, because of the abnormal metabolism of insulin, the person is suffering from diabetes. Instead of taking the insulin, I can directly make a permanent solution by making or by replacing the respective degenerative tissue with a fresh tissue with the use of the stem cell. Okay, so hence in this very process, these stem cells are immensely helping the people all over the world. And even this very stem cell technique, okay, this is under research mode in India as of now. Okay, because we know that India government is though supporting the various preclinical as well as the clinical researches with respect to the stem cell, but we could see that the stem cell treatment, okay, which directly says about that it has a very good outcome with respect to treating cancers, with respect to treating the thalassemia patients, the blood cancer patients and all. Okay, so you could see that various leading institutions, be it the AIIMS Delhi, okay, be it the Tata Memorial Center located in Mumbai, okay, this particular great institutions is also coming up with various number of researchers with respect to the stem cells, so that it could be properly be placed inside an individual, so that he could be cured from the various types of disease which can or may not be very much diagnosed, okay, with the help of medications. Okay, so hence it is believed that the stem cell research can pave the way, okay, it can have the pave the way for the in the future to cure many type of life-taking chronic diseases. Okay, and you can see that the stem cell therapy has the vast potential to be unleashed to transform the human life by providing new milestones in the field of therapeutics, such as the skin replacement, such as the bone replacement, bone marrow replacement, such as the organ replacement, okay, such as the tissue replacement, and various other factors. Okay, and hence we could directly see the very last point about the reduced risks of rejection. Okay, because we know the reduced risks of rejection is means what? That the stem cell therapy puts into use the patient's own body, okay, and there is no foreign body that is associated with this very stem cell tissue, and hence the risks of rejection by the very body can be reduced because the cells belongs to the same human body. If suppose I have to transplant my organ, suppose I have to transplant my kidney, if a foreign kidney directly comes and fits in my body, I may or may not survive. it depends on the type of the body's requirements. But if I directly acquire the stem cells with respect to my own body, so even the new regenerative organ that will be placed inside me, it is directly made with respect to my own body, with respect to my own body requirements, and hence the body's reduced risk of rejection is very much high. The body will reject this, so the body will not reject this respective organ because it is a part of my own body, and hence there is no foreign body involved. Okay, so in the near time, even the stem cell therapy has also allowed the researchers. Okay, supposedly you can see that respective women, if she is directly going to give a baby, okay, if directly she's a pregnant lady, okay, she will be delivering a baby. So with respect to these stem cells, we can directly make the very child who is purely supposedly the child is a type of is suffering from some type of deadly diseases or some type of chronic diseases. Okay, so a higher understanding of the very treatment, okay, makes the abnormal development of the human body to a normal development, because on the path of the very progress, okay, because we all know that during this tenure of time, 34 to 77 weeks, the very zygote directly makes to form a very human baby, okay, or to when directly on organism of the full-fledged. So in this due time, if we detect some of the diseases, so in this due process of development, we could directly inject the respective stem cells to the respective baby, so that we could have a proper normal development of the body in the tenure of 34 weeks. So this very stem cells development, it directly defects or it directly detects the various defects before they could directly originate and become a lifelong chronic disease. Okay, so hence we have got regular advantages with respect to this very type of SCT, which is known as the stem cell therapy. Okay, so here there are various types, so you can see the PDF later on. Okay, orthopedic, okay, wound and spinal cord. Okay, I have told about hair loss. Okay, then I have told about the heart cells. I have said about, then I have told about the diabetic things and all. Okay, so I have told about the Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so I have discussed this all things with you. Okay, now coming to the biotechnology part. Okay, coming to the biotechnology part. See, when I refer biotechnology, okay, biotechnology means the use of biology, okay, use of biology, which is an integral or the use of the biological systems in a very technical way. Okay, so hence this biotechnology is referred to a technology that utilizes the biological systems, okay, that utilizes the living organisms or part of this to develop or create some different products which may be helpful or which may be something very much useful for the respective person. So hence you can see the definition over here. It directly clearly says about the biotechnology refers to the industrial use of the microorganisms, living plant and animal cells to produce substances that is very much useful to the people. Okay, supposedly it includes the manufacture of the antibiotics, vitamins, okay, vaccines, toxic waste disposal, microbes, etc. Okay, so in this very biotechnology process, we have seen that the biotechnology, it directly makes the very living organisms or part of this very living organisms to develop or create some different products which may be very much useful for the very people. Okay, hence this biotechnology deals with what? It deals with the industrial scale production of the biopharmaceuticals and various biologicals using some type of genetically modified microbes, fungi, plants, as well as animals. Okay, supposedly you can even see that some of the organisms, some of the various number of fungi, some of the various number of plants, some of the various number of animals are very much useful to deal with the type of resistance that it can offer to a respective virus, to a respective bacteria. And hence the application of the biotechnology, which includes various number of therapeutics, diagnostics, okay, various number of bioremediation, waste treatment, energy production, everything that is associated with respective to this biotechnology. Okay, in this biotechnology, we could see that due to the use of the biotechnology, due to the very use of the biotechnological process, you could go with the genetically modified crops. It directly goes with the resilience of some type of chemical pesticides. Supposedly, that a particular crop, if I am not directly using the biological process to know about the quality, to about the technical quality of the respective plant, I might directly lose up with the respective crop which I have directly farmed up on my farm. So this type of biotechnology used type of crops, which are directly known as the modified crops, they becomes tolerant to various number of stresses, be it the cold, be it the drought, be it the salt, be it the heat, okay, be it the high amount of insects, pesticides. So they get rest, and hence we could see that it could increase, or it could increase the efficiency of the respective plant to grow more in the coming times. Okay. So yesterday only I have told about the BT cottons and all. Okay. So these are all associated with the respective type of biotechnology that we could use. Okay. In this respective biotechnological process, even we have got a very strong hold to take or to tackle the very deadly disease which is known as the AIDS. Okay. Deadly disease which is known as the AIDS, or which is known as the HIV/AIDS. We directly have, or we directly needs to go with this type of biotechnological process, so that we could directly make, or we could directly control the rapid growth of the HIV, because we all know that HIV does not have got any medications. Okay. So yesterday also I have gone with the CRISPR technology. Okay. It's a particular type of powerful tool for editing the genomes, which also uses the type of biotechnology that we can see in this present times. Okay. So in this whole section of biotechnology, we can see that biotechnology can be divided into this all four types which you can see in your respective screen. Okay. So we see about the red biotechnology, we see about the white biotechnology, okay, we see about the blue biotechnology, and lastly we see about the green biotechnology over here. What do you mean by red biotechnology? You can see in this very line that the red biotechnology is a distinct branch that deals with the therapeutic as well as pharmaceutical application of the biotechnological process. Or you can directly say the medical use of biotechnology can directly be referred to the red biotechnology process. Because through this medical use of the process, we are directly manufacturing some of the enzymes, we are directly going with some of the antibiotics, we are directly going with some of the vaccines. Okay, be it the COVID vaccine, okay, be it the Covishield, be it the Covaxin, every type of vaccine is directly going in the part of red biotechnology. Because we are using the red biotechnology part, or you are using this very part of biotechnology to manufacture various number of pharmaceuticals, be it with respect to the enzymes, be it with respect to the antibiotics, be it with respect to the vaccines, which are very much used for the diagnostic for the very patient who has been suffered from such type of diseases. With respect to the white biotechnology, we could see that it can be referred as industrial biotechnology. Okay, and it is directly been referred to the process of industrial as well as various number of other production processes. This white biotechnology, they directly uses the microorganisms in chemical production. Okay, and the design, supposedly if I am directly going with the design of some of the new plastics or textiles, I'll be going with this type of industrial biotechnology. Okay, because the new plastics which have been directly been generated out, will they contain various number of microbes which can directly degenerate it after it's very much used is over? Okay, how much time it will directly it will take for its regeneration? So everything will be taken care of with respective to this white biotechnology. Okay, so hence the development of and sustainable energy, be it even the biofuels. Okay, if I'm directly going with the association of the biofuels, okay, be it the gobar gas. So this gas is very much useful or not these are very much prepared with respect to this white biotechnology, that is the industrial biotechnology. Can I use the gobar gas in a very huge demand or in a very huge process, be it with the respective with the whole society, for the whole community? So this will be directly been analyzed with respect to the industrial biotechnology. Coming to the blue biotechnology, we directly see over here the marine biotechnology, okay, which directly applies the processes of biotechnology in various number of marine purposes. Supposedly, I have to go with an aquaculture practices. I have to go with fish farmings. I have to go with the high quality of foods so that even the fishes directly gets enlarged and I can directly generate a more revenue out of it. Also, supposedly you see that in current times you can see in everywhere various fishes die due to some type of disease that directly occurs in this very land, in this very pond, in this very bills. So hence, even to make these fishes disease resistant to some form of diseases, we can even use this type of biotechnological process. And hence, we could directly term it as a blue biotechnology. The very last technology, which is directly associated with the green biotechnology, we all know green is directly associated with the type of agricultural biotechnology. Okay, the agricultural biotechnology. The agricultural biotechnology, where biotechnological applications can be seen in various agricultural processes as well as products. We could see about the BT cotton. Okay, BT cotton is a good example of the green biotechnology. Okay, we could use the essence of various number of gases, be it the methane gas, be it the ethanol gas. Okay, so these all are which can be used as a source of energy, which directly elevates the agricultural processes, which directly elevates the agricultural products, which even goes for the type of organic farm, which even directly associated with the type of organic farm, which directly even goes with the type of farming which uses less pesticides, less insecticides. So such type of things are directly associated with this green biotechnological process. So hence we have got various applications with respect to this biotechnology in our country. Okay. With respect to the biotechnology in India, we can see that the Department of Biotechnology, which is directly coming under the Ministry of Science and Technology, okay, they directly goes up with the various number of biotechnological sectors programs, which is managed in our country. Okay, so hence these various departments or held these various ministries objective is to provide the biotechnological applications in various ways of researches, in various ways of infrastructures, in various ways of promotion of industries, creation of centers of excellence for various researches. ये सब के लिए ये बायोटेक्नोलॉजी का हम लोग यूज करते हैं. Also, the government has a plan to set up a bioinformatics mission so that we could directly help a proper information network with respect to various biotechnological processes that we use for the betterment of this whole. Okay, so hence biotechnology, which is developed or which is directly been destined by the Department of Biotechnology and the Ministry of Science and Technology, has got various objectives to even go with they are directly aiming to go with some type of cleaner fuels, because we know that the petrol and diesel are not a form of the cleaner fuels. So even because to directly shift to some of the biofuels, the various department is directly engaged. The department is very engaged with various other organizations to make it happen. Okay, the very reality of a clean fuel. Okay, so we can see that the biotechnology, okay, the biotechnology has got various applications also. Okay, I have told you about the agricultural applications. You can see in this very slide. Okay, the biotechnology that is directly used for even the healthcare facilities. Okay, then we can see about this directly in the industrial activities. We can see about the environmental activities. Okay, where we can directly use the biotechnology in treatment of the wastes. Okay, so all these type of things are associated with the type of biotechnological process. And even this biotechnology, what we directly aim today, okay, they are also used for various purposes with respective for cloning, okay, with respective for making a very species which is very much of endangered survive for a longer duration of time. So there are various processes which includes this type of biotechnological process. And hence the application of the biotechnology could be a major tool for the development in every countries that we directly see as of today. Okay, we bound with the culture, bound with the socio-cultural values, biotechnology could be utilized in solving various future problems, be it like food, be it like water insecurity, that impends the national development and that threatens the peace in the developing world. इफ टुमारो कल एक जगह पे अगर मान लो कल बांग्लादेश में अभी हम लोग का बांग्लादेश के साथ कितना प्रॉब्लम्स है okay which leads to illegal infiltration which leads to illegal migration still if I am tomorrow this very country which does not focuses on biotechnology they are faced with some type of food and water crisis then what will happen so this food and water crisis which is a natural phenomena which directly affects because the which is directly a nature because of the shortage that the nature is giving to them, we can see such type of crisis that is happening. So in this due time, this very place, this very area may run out of shortage of water as well as food. So in this due time, if this very country is not directly focusing much more on biotechnology, then they will have to face rather more problems with respect to such changes of the natural environment. So hence, biotechnology is an integral element so that we could directly associate our future, we could make or we could directly utilize in solving our future problems like the food and the water problems, which can directly have an insecurity in the whole region and which could even develop a threat which could even directly impede the national development as well as even threaten the peace in the developing world. Because if every type of immigrants are coming in from the nearby country of Bangladesh and could directly impede in the various areas of India, in Bhutan, in Nepal, so we could find a regional security problem which could even threaten the peace of the respective region. So hence this biotechnology is a very associated process which is very much of eminent as of today. And hence we can see the Department of Biotechnology associating with the Ministry of Science and Technology is coming up with various programs. Okay, be it the rice functional genomics program, okay, be it the national plant gene repository programs, okay, be it the next generation challenge program on chickpea genomics, the wheat genome sequencing program, every type of programs are directly been taken up by the respective ministries in associated with the Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, associating the Department of Biotechnology, so that they could elevate the very use of these biotechnological processes in their very practice. Okay, so this is all with respect to the biotechnological process. Okay, now coming to some of the health as well as diseases. Okay, health diseases program. If I am directly defining, okay, what is health? Okay, what is associated with health? Okay, so when I say about health, okay, health is directly associated with the swasthya. Swasthya. Okay, so in this very swasthya, we could see that the larger amount or extent of the degree through which our very repository system is directly in a sound quality of mind and state. Okay, so hence this health, okay, hence this health is the very important factor and it directly denotes the well-being of the respective individual. It directly dispenses his soundness of mind. It directly salubrity. It directly goes with the salubrity. It's directly salubrity. Salubrity. It directly salubrity means what? It's something which is known as arogya. Okay, I am directly going with the arogya. I am an arogyavan. So salubrity, the soundness of the respective body, is associated with the terminology which is known as health. Okay. So hence in this due process, the health is being affected, okay, in due time by various number of diseases, by various number of factors, okay, which could directly hamper the soundness, okay, the salubrity, the very well-being, okay, the very restoration of the body's immune power. And hence, this type of diseases can be defined under two heads. The first one can be defined over here is the communicable diseases. You can see this communicable diseases, and here you can see this non-communicable diseases. Okay. So on the basis or the very meaning, if I am directly going with, you can see that the disease spread from person to another. They are catching disease, can be spread through the air, water, etc., and can be caused by pathogens and caused as highly infectious, where the vectors play the major role in spreading the disease from one person to the other. So hence in these communicable diseases, okay, when we define a communicable diseases, we can see that the communicable disease has got a role, okay, or has got a meaning which directly or which has got a tendency where it directly spreads from one person to the another through a variety of ways that even includes the contact of the body, that contacts with directly with the body fluids, okay, and even with respective some of the atmospheric elements, be it air, be it respective to the water, okay, and this particular elements which are mainly highly infectious, where the vectors directly played a major role in spreading the disease from one person to another. Okay, so hence in this communicable diseases, okay, the communicable diseases we could directly refer it as the type of infectious diseases or transmissible diseases that results in illness from the infections that are presence and growth of the pathogenic biological agents which has been carried out by various number of vectors. Okay, so this is directly going with the communicable diseases. If I am directly referring with a non-communicable disease, we can directly see this non-communicable disease to be a type that does not transfer from one person to another, or which is non-transmissible, okay, which is non-infectious in nature, okay, and hence we could not see that this can be directly been transferred from one person. Suppose if one is directly acquired with some of the diseases, it does not mean that the nearby one who is directly having his share of clothes, his share of pants, his share of food, he will be ridden with such type of diseases. No, it is not something like that. But this, if he is directly affected, means that person is affected with a communicable disease. Okay, so hence you can directly see the examples of a communicable diseases. Okay, so the communicable diseases being the hot communicable disease as of now, that is the SARS-CoV. Okay, the SARS-CoV, that's the COVID. Okay, then we have got a tuberculosis. Okay, the continuous coughing. Okay, so in this very process, even the types of this particular flus, okay, so all these very types can be seen under this communicable diseases. Okay, if I'm directly going with some of the non-communicable diseases, that means supposedly you have got a diabetes. That doesn't mean because you are talking to him, because you are wearing his clothes, because you are wearing his pants, because you are wearing his shirts, because you are sharing food with him, it directly tends to be the disease which is very much of communicable. No, it is not communicable in nature. It does not communicate like this. So hence we could see about cancer, we could see about diabetes, we could see about heart diseases, which cannot, the allergies in the persons people have. So these are not communicable in types. Okay. With respect to the inheritance practice, you can see this disease cannot be inherited from one generation to the other. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे को ट्यूबरकुलोसिस है तो मेरा ऑफस्प्रिंग्स को भी ट्यूबरकुलोसिस मिल जाएगा, मेरे को कॉलेरा है तो मेरे ऑफस्प्रिंग्स को भी कॉलेरा का डिजीज मिल जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं. So hence we could see that these diseases cannot be inherited from one generation to the other. But as respected to our non-communicable diseases, these diseases can be inherited. Suppose I have got allergies. Okay, I have got allergies. I really have got allergies. I have got those allergies too much, but still I have to tell that I have got allergies. So this allergies function or this allergies or the very tissue or this very agent that is very much responsible to cause allergy in my body can be transplanted, can be directly been transferred to some of my offspring. Okay, it may be some of my it cannot be, it may be something which is not direct to me also. Supposedly the sister's son, my sister's son, my brother's son, my brother's daughter, my sister's daughter, to someone of my family of the offspring, this particular gene or this particular things may be directly been transferred, and hence we could see that this particular diseases can be inherited. Okay, so these are the type of non-communicable diseases. Okay, so in this very diseases which is communicable, we can see these are very much acute, that it develops very quickly, and this very diseases which is non-communicable, they directly develop slowly and directly reduces the very life of the people because it develops slowly. Okay, and hence we could see that it lasts for a longer period of time. It lasts for a longer period of time. Okay, so people who have got diabetes, you can see him living for some around 30 to 40 years with the diabetes, with the proper medications. So hence we could see that this particular diseases are chronic, but it develops very slowly as well as it directly ends or it directly longs for a very long period of time. Okay, so these are the very precautions that are essential with respect to this communicable as well as non-communicable disease. You can see after the very slide is directly been shared. So if I'm directly going with the acute as well as chronic diseases, so these are some of the differences. Okay, I'll just go with the very meanings. So you can see the very first meaning of acute, a disease with a rapid onset and or for a short course. What about the chronic? A human health condition or disease that is persistent or otherwise very long lasting in its effect. So acute means what? A disease which is very rapid onset. जब होगा तब तुरंत ही बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा. Okay, you may even face a death. You may even face a death upon getting an acute or an acute syndrome of a disease. In short term, you have directly going with an asthma attack, a heart attack, okay, pressure attacks, okay, strep throat, burn, flu, everything associated with this acute type of diseases. So hence this acute disease, which is a rapid onset and for a short course of time. So अगर तुम्हारा acute हुआ, तुम heart attack में अगर तुम्हें proper medication timely मिला, तो तुम बच भी सकते हो. Okay, if you are directly affecting the heart is not functioning right, you will directly going with the very thing of which is known as the pacemakers. तो तुम बच भी सकते हो. लेकिन जब होगा तुम्हें, उस time you will be directly facing an acute type of syndrome with respect to that particular disease. लेकिन chronic में क्या होता है? Okay, chronic में it is persistent or it can be having a last or long lasting effects. Supposedly I have got some type of migraine problem. Okay. I have got some type of migraine problem. तो migraine problem तुम जितना भी करो कुछ कभी ठीक नहीं हो सकता है. ओके, लाइट देखोगे तो एकदम आंख एकदम सर दुखने लगेगा. सो बहुत लोगों का माइग्रेन प्रॉब्लम. So this migraine problems are an example of a chronic problem because we all know that this migraine problems they develop or is very much persistence which are very much of long lasting because it develops gradually out of a habitual diet, out of a habitual posture, out of a habitual conditions, and they directly continues beyond the expected period of recovery. हम लोग सोचते हैं कि चलो जब हम लोग मैच्योर हो जाएंगे, सब जब हम लोग थोड़ा बड़े हो जाएंगे तब ये सब चला जाएगा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है. It continues even for a smaller instant of time, for an expected period, for a longer expected period, then we directly think upon it. Okay, so migraine problem, asthma problem, okay, consistent back pain, लंबे लोगों का ज्यादा होता है, थोड़ा बैक पेन ज्यादा होता है. ठीक है, they sit like this in front of the laptop, in front of the very they study like bending with a book. Okay, जहाँ पे बैठेंगे सीधा नहीं बैठेंगे, थोड़ा टेढ़ा बैठेंगे, तो टेढ़ा बैठते बैठते उन लोग का बैक पेन हो जाता है. All this type of things is a type which is associated with the chronic diseases. Okay. The very diseases which are in news. Diseases which are in news associated, that is first diseases which is vector-borne diseases. ये vector-borne diseases क्या है? Vector-borne diseases वो सब होता है जहाँ पे we can think that a particular vector, एक particular क्या होता है? एक element होता है. Okay. Supposedly it may be a parasite, it may be a virus, it may be a bacteria. Okay, which can transmit the infectious diseases from humans to animals, animals to humans, plants to animals, plants to humans, humans to plants, सब जगह होता है. So hence we could see that many of these vectors are the blood-sucking insects. Okay, the blood-sucking insects. Okay, which injects the disease-producing microorganism during a blood test. Okay, so mosquitoes are the best-known vectors. और mosquitoes के लिए कितना कितना बीमारी है? Be it Zika virus, okay, be it malaria, okay, every type of diseases are associated with this type of best-known vectors, which is the mosquitoes. And hence India, to counter these vector-borne diseases, has set up a very program which is known as the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program, that is NVD NVVDC. ओके, सो यहाँ पे देख लो diseases, okay, like we have the filariasis. तो यहाँ पे भी वही है, diseases caused by roundworm which constitutes as the carrier. Okay, so it is also called as elephantiasis, जहाँ पे वो पैर वैर बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है ना, like. Okay, so here to like for that why India has got a campaign which is known as Hathi Pav Mukh Bharat. Okay, the very elephant's leg is very much bigger, it's a huge in size. Okay, so इसीलिए हम लोग का जो पैर थोड़ा हाथी टाइप का हो जाता है, हाथी वाला पैर, तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, फिलियरिसिस. एंड इसका मेन जिम्मेदार कौन है? मेन जिम्मेदार है द राउंडवर्म्स, बट इज कैरिड बाय हुम? द वेक्टर्स व्हिच इज नोन एज द मस्किटोस. ओके, तो फिलियरिसिस हो गया. देन आ गया क्या? मलेरिया. ओके, देन वी नो मलेरिया इज कॉज्ड बाय प्लाज्मोडियम प्रोटोजुआ. यहाँ पे देख लो, प्लाज्मोडियम प्रोटोजुआ. ओके, and this is directly infected by a female Anopheles mosquito. Okay, so the mosquitoes bite introduce the parasite from the mosquito's saliva into the person's blood. Okay, so इसके लिए हम लोग देखते हैं. फिर disease transmitted by mosquitoes देख लो, एडीज हो गया. Okay, ये एडीज वाला जो मस्क्यूटो हो, ये क्या क्या देता है? चिकनगुनिया देता है, डेंगू देता है, लिम्फेटिक फिलियरिसिस देता है, येलो फीवर, जिका, रिफ्ट वैली फीवर. देन एनोफिलिस क्या देता है? एनोफिलिस देता है मलेरिया, लिम्फेटिक फिलियरिसिस. क्यूलेक्स क्या देता है? जापानीज एन्सेफेलाइटिस, lymphatic filariasis, West Nile fever. So all these very mosquitoes are well or are very much essential or an essential carrier to this type of diseases, which are in some point of time they are very much deadly. Okay, in some portion of time they are very much deadly. Okay. So even the Kalajar, which is even known as the dum-dum fever or leishmaniasis, it's a type of protozoan disease. Okay, तो इसका मेन कैरियर कौन है? ये एक सैनफ्लाई है, ये सैनफ्लाई कैरियर है. लेकिन ये क्या है? इट इज अ स्लो प्रोग्रेसिव इंफ्यूजन डिजीज कॉल्ड बाय अ प्रोटोजुआन पैरासाइट. ओके, सो जस्ट लाइक वी कैन सी द मलेरिया में उसका प्लाज्मोडियम प्रोटोजुआ, ये भी प्रोटोजुआन है, ये भी प्रोटोजुआन है. ओके, so we could directly associate the Kalajar, okay, by the respective sandfly. इसके बाद आ गया monkey fever. Okay, the monkey fever, so it's a tick-borne viral fever. Okay, so ये मैक्सिमम हम लोग का कहाँ पर डिटेक्ट होता है? कर्नाटका स्टेट में डिटेक्ट हुआ था. तो यहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा फीवर होता है. ओके, व्हिच इज नोन एज अ क्याशनोर फॉरेस्ट डिजीज में ये जो टिक है, ओके, ये जो एलिमेंट है, वेक्टर है, ये डायरेक्टली फॉर्म होता है. ओके, सो हेंस दिस इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हिच इज नोन एज क्याशनोर फॉरेस्ट डिजीज और मंकी फीवर. ओके, देन गोइंग विद द जिका, वही मैं बोला, मॉस्किटो वायरस. ओके, सो जिका इन्फेक्शन लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल 2017-18 में बहुत ज्यादा न्यूज में था. ओके, तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है? माइक्रोसिफेलिस होता है. माइक्रोसिफेली मतलब वो जो बच्चे का जो सिर होता है, वो सिर थोड़ा चिपक जाता है. ओके, इट डायरेक्टली मेक्स अ टाइप ऑफ हेड. ओके, तो हम लोग का नॉर्मल जैसा रहता है, वो नॉर्मल नहीं रहता है. ओके, द वेरी बैक पोर्शन ऑफ दिस, ओके, इज डायरेक्टली बीन स्लैश्ड अपॉन एंड द वेरी फेस इज डायरेक्टली बीन पॉइंटेड अपॉन. Okay, so you can see this microcephalic condition, it occurs among babies. देखो, who contracted the virus during pregnancy. Pregnancy में अगर माँ को मिल गया तो माँ से Zika virus कहाँ चल जाता है? The baby के पास चल जाता है. Okay, so this is a type of virus that you can see. So various other which is known as nosocomial infections, which is directly hospital acquired infection. ये में क्या होता है? हॉस्पिटल्स में बहुत सारा मरीजों का इलाज होता रहता है. ओके, तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारा बैक्टीरिया होता है, फंगस होता है, ओके, वायरसेस होता है. ओके, तो ये सब मिलके एक नया टाइप का एक इन्फेक्शन ले आ सकता है, which is known as the HAI, that is the hospital acquired infection. ओके, एक आदमी स्वस्थ था, वहाँ पे कोई ट्रीटमेंट के लिए गया था हॉस्पिटल, लेकिन वहां से उसको एक इन्फेक्शन है. तो वो इन्फेक्शन को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? नोसोकोमियल इन्फेक्शन, which has been acquired from the very hospitals by respective, or it has got a contribution of the bacteria, fungus, viruses that has been involved in these very hospitals. ओके, तो ये बहुत कॉमन है. कहाँ पे? कॉमन वार्ड. ओके, जहाँ पे कॉमन वार्ड्स में हम लोग का गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में चला जाओ, कॉमन वार्ड्स होता है, वहाँ पे 100-200 पेशेंट ऐसे लाइन में रहेंगे. ओके, सो वहाँ पे ये जो चीज होता है, ये जो इन्फेक्शन होता है, यहाँ पे वहाँ पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा होता है. ओके, फिर आता है कोरोना वायरस, वो तो मैं बाद में एक एक्स्ट्रा क्लास ही है उसके लिए. ओके, कोरोना वायरस बाद में बता देंगे. फिर निपा वायरस. तो निपा वायरस में क्या है? दिस इज अ टाइप ऑफ जूनोटिक डिजीज. ओके, ये जो एलिमेंट्स के होते हैं जनरली, इट डायरेक्टली ट्रांसमिट टू ह्यूमंस फ्रॉम द एनिमल्स, बी द बैट्स एज वेल एज द पिग्स. Okay, and it can, after a human receives this very disease from the respective carriers, be it with the bats, be it with the pigs, तो उसके बाद ये human to human में transfer हो सकता है. Okay, so generally we can see that 90% of this very disease is caused by the type of the of the bat, which is known as the fruit bats. Okay? तो fruit bats ये ज़्यादा ये बीमारी को ज़्यादा फैलाते हैं, okay, as compared to what? As compared to the pigs. Okay? Coming to the flu viruses. Flu viruses में क्या होता है? We can see that this type of flu viruses are common viral infections that can even be deadly if it reaches to a higher extremes. So the flu attacks can be attacking the lungs, the nose, the throats. Okay, it may be directly be an acute, it may be directly even be a chronic disease. Okay, और जिनका the immune system थोड़ा weak रहता है, उनको ज़्यादा flu से ज़्यादा क्या होता है प्रॉब्लम रहता है. They are immediately attacked by the flus. और ये जो फ्लूज होता है, दिस कैन बी ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप्स. सीजनल फ्लूज, ओके, सीजनल फ्लूज यू कैन सी ओवर हियर. ओके, तो सीजनल फ्लूज मतलब क्या होता है? सीजनल फ्लूज मतलब सीजन पे आते हैं. ठीक है, जब हम लोग का ठंडा से गर्मी होने लगता है, उस टाइम हम लोग बीमारी पड़ते हैं. जब हम लोग गर्मी से थोड़ा बहुत क्लाइमेट ठंडा होने जा रहा है, तो उस टाइम हम लोग बीमार पड़ते हैं. ओके, द वेरी फर्स्ट अराइवल ऑफ द मॉनसूनल रेन्स, हम लोग अगर भीग जाए तो उस टाइम हम लोग का बीमारी. तो ये क्या होता है? ये सीजनल फ्लूज होते हैं. एंड दे आर इजीली कैप्चर्ड बाय द पीपल हु आर एटलीस्ट दे हैव गॉट अ वीक इम्यून सिस्टम. उसके बाद तो फ्लूज तो आता ही है, H1N1, H5N1. ओके, ये सब फ्लूज रहता ही है जो नॉर्मल वेज में चला जाता है, नॉर्मल वेज में लगा रहता है ये सब फ्लूज. ओके, सो यू कुड सी दैट देयर आर वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लूज. ओके, सो वन फ्लू यू कैन से दैट एक फ्लू होता है जहाँ पे हम लोग का वायरसेस डायरेक्ट, तो विच इज डायरेक्टली नोन एज जो लाइक यू कैन सी ओवर हियर, यहाँ पे ABCD बोल के फ्लूज बोले गए हैं. ठीक है, तो इन दिस वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लूज यू कैन सी इन्फ्लुएंजा A is directly associated with the flu, which is very much going with the influenzaal viruses. Okay, and ये जो influenzaal viruses है, ये क्या है? These are a type of the seasonal flus. These are a type of what? These are a type of the seasonal flus. So these influenzaal flus are also very much essential. Okay, so you can see if I'm directly going with the 4 types of flus, okay, or the influenza viruses, be it the A, B, C, and D, we can see that the human influenza viruses A and B causes some of the seasonal epidemics of this disease. Okay, but we can see that the other one, B with respect to the C, the influenza type C infection generally cause mild illness. Okay, and influenza D primarily affects the cattle and not known to infect or cause illness in the humans. तो हम लोग का 4 टाइप का क्या है? 4 टाइप का इन्फ्लुएंजा वायरस है. और ये 4 टाइपों में A और B क्या करते हैं? A और B सीजनल एपिडेमिक्स के, जैसे मैंने बोला था सीजनल फ्लू, A एंड B सीजनल एपिडेमिक्स में इंक्लूड होते हैं. सीजनल एपिडेमिक्स में ये लोग का एक रोल होता है. इन्फ्लुएंजा C किस में आता है? इसमें इनका C में जो थोड़ा बहुत सर्दी जुकाम होता है. ओके, एंड यू कैन सी दैट दे आर नॉट कॉजिंग too many number of harm to the very people or the very man who has been ridden with type of C. तो ये इन्फ्लुएंजा C में होता है. यहाँ पे माइल्ड इलनेस होता है, सर्दी जुकाम होके 1-2 दिन में ठीक हो जाता है. तो यहाँ ये इन्फ्लुएंजा C में आएगा. और इन्फ्लुएंजा D कहाँ से आता है? इन्फ्लुएंजा D वाला फैक्टर, it directly primarily affects the cattle and are not known to infect the various people associated with the methods. Okay, so that's why we could see that this type of flus, okay, supposedly if I am directly going with the influenza A, तो influenza A में भी सब टाइप्स होता है, जैसे H1N1, okay, जो स्वाइन फ्लू होता है, okay, द बर्ड फ्लू होता है, ये सब इन्फ्लुएंजा A के बेसिस पे आते हैं. Okay, because influenza A and B causes most of the human illness, and even in the flu season they directly accepts or they directly goes with the very process of infecting a very human. Okay, और इन्फ्लुएंजा B में generally we can see that the lineages of the very diseases which has been acquired because of the flus that are coming, be it H1N1, be it H5N2, okay, इनका जो lineage होता है, ये lineage जाके कहीं मान लो इसका lineage extension होता है, तो कहीं इन्फ्लुएंजा B भी इसमें शामिल हो जाता है to cause illness in the minds or in the very illness of the people. Okay, so hence in this due process we could see these various types of influenzas. Okay, तो इसका बहुत सारा सिम्टम्स भी होता है. यू कैन सी अबाउट द बर्ड फ्लू. ओके, यहाँ पे हिस्ट्री, साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स सब लिखा गया है. ओके, तो यहाँ पे सी दिस वायरस ओनली अफेक्ट्स द पीपल कैरेक्टर्स अकॉर्डिंग टू द वायरस वाज ओरिजिनली आइसोलेटेड। ओके, तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है, पहले जो जैसे इन्फ्लुएंजा बी वायरस होता है, ये डायरेक्टली नॉट एसोसिएट देम विद द पैंडेमिक और एन एंडेमिक। तो ये क्या होता है इन्फ्लुएंजा बी में, इन्फ्लुएंजा बी में अगर एक पैंडेमिक और एंडेमिक ओवर हो गया तो धीरे धीरे करके ये पैंडेमिक तो सस्टेन हो जाएगा यहाँ पे और ये एंडेमिक तो सस्टेन हो जाएगा यहाँ पे। तो कल परसों व्हेन दिस वेरी पैंडेमिक और एंडेमिक इज टोटली बीन रिडन अपॉन, ये जब खत्म हो जाएगा तो उसके बाद जो थोड़ा बहुत ट्रेसेस बचेंगे उस ट्रेसेस को हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे, इट विल बी नेम्ड एज द इन्फ्लुएंजा बी वायरस। क्योंकि इन्फ्लुएंजा ए वायरस में हम लोग का क्या बोला था, हम लोग देखते थे कि दिस डायरेक्टली स्प्रेड्स रैपिडली ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ द पैंडेमिक और एन एपिडेमिक। और बी कब होगा, जब एपिडेमिक और पैंडेमिक सब खत्म हो जाएगा तो कुछ ट्रेसेस उनका लीनिएज बच जाता है ना, तो उस लीनिएज के हिसाब से कोई कोई को अफेक्ट कर देंगे। तो उस टाइम दिस इन्फ्लुएंजा बी वायरस विल बी वेरी मच ऑफ इफेक्ट। ओके, सो इन्फ्लुएंजा सी में तो मैंने बोल ही दिया है। ओके, इट इज नॉट एसोसिएटेड विद एनी नंबर ऑफ एपिडेमिक्स और पैंडेमिक्स। कभी कभी किसी का सर्दी जुकाम हो जाता है, ओके, पेट दर्द हो जाता है, ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ पॉइजनिंग, फूड पॉइजनिंग कभी कभी कुछ हो जाता है, तो ठीक है, ये थोड़ा बहुत करके 1-2 दिन में ठीक हो जाता है। और इन्फ्लुएंजा डी में देख ही लो, दिस टाइप ऑफ फ्लू प्राइमरी अफेक्ट्स कैटल एंड इज नॉन टू अफेक्ट पीपल, मैंने बोली। ओके, सो दीज आर द टाइप्स ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंजा वायरसेस दैट वी कैन सी इन दिस प्रेजेंट टाइम्स। ओके, coming to the vitamins as well as minerals. Okay, if I am directly going with the vitamins, vitamins, तो vitamins अगर मैं बोलूं तो vitamins क्या होते हैं, vitamins are any group of organic compounds which are essential for normal growth and nutrition and are required in small quantities in the diet because they cannot be synthesized by the body. ये बॉडी, ये जो vitamins है ये बॉडी सिंथेसाइज नहीं करता है, and hence we can see that most of the people get all the vitamins they need for a healthy diet from the food they directly intake. Okay, so hence these vitamins, okay, are very crucial or they are very much essential for the body to develop it and function it in a normal state. And hence we have got a various number of vitamins. Vitamins includes the A, C, D, E and K. Okay, B vitamins तो हम लोग का और भी डिफरेंशिएट हो जाता है, थियामिन, राइबोफ्लाविन, नियासिन, ओके, पैंथोथेनिक, then biotin, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, folic acid. Okay, so all these particular type of vitamins are very much crucial for the respective human body to sustain. Okay, and hence for these vitamins we need some of the essential nutrients to be consumed so that the very organic molecule which is associated with the vitamin producing, it acts as an essential factor in terming the very body's function. Okay, so these vitamins, okay, we can say about the vitamin A. So agar मैं vitamin A में जाऊं, okay, we have got some of the fat soluble vitamins or we have got some of the water soluble vitamins. So in this fat soluble vitamins, we are directly categorized the fat soluble vitamins under what? This is A, D, E, and K. Okay, A, D, E, and K, and they are stored in liver and adipose, that is the fat storing tissues. So A vitamin, okay, A vitamin, you can see that this is a fat soluble vitamin and hence it is directly stored in the fats. And the deficiency of this vitamin directly leads to night blindness, okay, hyperkeratosis, keratomalacia, all these type of diseases can be caused with respect to these vitamins. Okay, this vitamins directly contains what? It directly contains the retinols, okay, it directly contains the carotenoids, okay, it directly contains the beta carotene, every type of vitamins that it directly contains. Okay, तो अगर मैं अभी डी पे चला जाऊं तो विटामिन डी वी ऑल नो अबाउट कोलेकैल्सिफेरॉल, ओके, एर्गोकैल्सिफेरॉल, so cholecalciferol D3, ergocalciferol D2, it is also a fat soluble vitamin, and deficiency of this leads to what? Rickets as well as osteomalacia, तो ये भी हो गया एक। फिर विटामिन ई आ गया, विटामिन ई को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, इट्स डायरेक्टली नोन एज टोकोफेरॉल्स और टोकोट्राइनॉल्स, ओके, सो इसका डेफिशिएंसी में क्या होता है, ओके, वी कुड गो विद द हेमोलाइटिक एनीमिया, ओके, and we could see that possible reduction of this type of vitamin E can increase the incidence of the congestive heart failure activities. Okay. With respect to the K को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? फाइलोक्विनॉन, मेनाक्विनॉन्स. ओके. और इसके लिए हम लोग का क्या होता है? ब्लीडिंग प्रॉब्लम्स होता है. ओके, व्हिच इज नोन एज द ब्लीडिंग डायथेसिस. ओके, इसके लिए हम लोग का जो एंटीकोगुलेशन इफेक्ट होता है वो कम हो जाता है. So hence these very vitamins are very much important. Okay, and hence we directly represent it as a fat soluble vitamin. Okay, with respect to the water soluble vitamins, you can see about the B group of vitamins, and vitamin C group of vitamins are soluble in water. And hence with respect to the B vitamins, we could go with the B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B7, B9, B12. Okay, so B1 को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? थियामाइन. B2 को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? राइबोफ्लाविन. B3 को नियासिन, नियासिनामाइड. Okay, all these things. B5 pantothenic acid. Then we have B6 pyridoxine, pyridoxamine, pyridoxal. Okay, then B7 going with the biotin. B9 going with the folic acid. B12 going with the methylcobalamin. All this type of vitamins that are very much essential. और विटामिन सी को हम लोग क्या करते हैं? डायरेक्टली द एस्कॉर्बिक एसिड. ओके, which leads to the formation, and the deficiency of this directly goes with the formation of the scurvy. Okay, so hence this vitamin B12, if I am directly going lack of the vitamin B12 क्या होता है? एनीमिया. ओके, एनीमिक. देन विटामिन B9 में हम लोग का क्या होता है? बर्थ डिफेक्ट्स होता है, न्यूरल डिफेक्ट्स होता है. ओके, एनीमिक थोड़ा फंक्शन रहता है, लेकिन मेनली ये विटामिन B9 जनरली तुम देखना कि जो फॉलिक एसिड होता है, प्रेगनेंसी और द प्रेग्नेंट मदर्स को हम लोग क्या देते हैं? फॉलिक एसिड देते हैं, बिकॉज द लैक ऑफ द विटामिन B9 डायरेक्टली हैव सम ऑफ द बर्थ डिफेक्ट्स ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ द प्रेगनेंसीज. ओके, फिर B7 क्या होता है? B7 जनरली गोज विद द डर्मेटाइटिस. ओके, अगर हम लोग का बायोटीन का कमी हो तो दैट डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट्स द वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ स्किन डिजीजेस और स्किन डिसऑर्डर्स. ओके, तो इसलिए हम लोग का डर्मेटाइटिस वहां पे होता है. देन B6 में हम लोग का क्या होता है? एनेमिक और पेरिफेरल न्यूरोपैथी. ओके, so directly impairment. Okay, सुनने में थोड़ा हम लोग को दिक्कत आ सकता है. Okay, so all these things directly helps with this particular thing. Okay, because of this less number of blood cells that is very much required. Okay, तो हम लोग का ये peripheral neuropathies में आते हैं काम. Okay, फिर vitamin B5 it directly goes with the parasestia. Okay, then the B3 it directly associated with the pellagra. Okay, B2 में क्या होता है? Stomatitis. Okay, glossitis. Okay, एरिबोफ्लेवियोनोसिस. ये सब चीज क्या होता है? विटामिन B2 कहते हैं. B1 में क्या होता है? बेरी. ओके, देन आई एम गोइंग विद द कोर्साकॉफ सिंड्रोम. ओके, W कोर्साकॉफ सिंड्रोम, इट्स नोन एज द वर्निके कोर्साकॉफ सिंड्रोम. ओके, यहाँ पे क्या होता है? जनरली हम लोग का ड्राउजीनेस आता है. ओके, मसल रिलैक्सेशन, मसल टूटने लगता है. ओके, सो ऑल दिस टाइप ऑफ विटामिन्स आर देयरफॉर नेसेसरी, एंड ईच विटामिन्स आर देयरफॉर नेसेसरी जस्ट बिकॉज इट हैज गॉट the soluble molecule. Okay, be it with respect to the fat, be it respective with the water. Okay, so इसीलिए vitamins, fat soluble vitamins as well as the water soluble vitamins, be it A, D, E, A, and K or B and C, are very much essential for the very respective performance of the body. Okay, so यहाँ पे मैंने जो बोला है वो देखो, यहाँ पे लिखा गया है सब चीज. Okay, vitamin A night blindness, vitamin B1 beriberi. Okay, B2 erybophlavinosis, B3 pellagra, B5 paresthesia, B6 anemic. Okay, B7 dermatitis, B9 and vitamin B12 megabloblastic anemia, vitamin BC, C we have seen scurvy, swelling of the gums, D rickets and osteomalacia, E less fertility, K non-clotting of the bloods. तो ये सब होता है in this very respective function of the vitamins. Now coming with the micronutrients. Okay, अगर हम लोग micronutrients के बात बोले तो micronutrients is very much essential. Because these micronutrients are one of the major groups of the nutrients our body needs. And these micronutrients includes what? They include the vitamins as well as the minerals. We all know vitamins are necessary for the energy production. Okay, while minerals directly play an important role in the growth, in directly balancing the fluid, in directly maintaining the bone health. तो ये सब चीज में हम लोग का minerals भी बहुत काम आता है. Okay, so because of all this, we could see that these are the very basic elements with respective to the micronutrients. अगर हम लोग minerals पे चला जाए तो minerals क्या क्या है? This includes the trace elements like the copper, iodine, iron, manganese, selenium, zinc together. तो सब चीज मिला के हम लोग का क्या होता है? Macronutrients होते हैं. Okay, so in this various types of micronutrients. Okay, we could see that the very micronutrients which are water soluble, be it with respect to the vitamins, be it fat soluble vitamins, okay, be it the macrominerals as well as the trace minerals. These are some of the important micronutrients which our bodies needs. Okay, and the seven micronutrients which are purely mentioned over here, I think some are missed. Okay, so actually the seven micronutrients or the seven essential part nutrient, the element defined which are known as the micronutrients, can be named as boron, zinc, manganese, iron, copper, molybdenum, as well as chlorine. So these are some of the seven essential micronutrients which we directly need in our body parts. Okay. So hence these micronutrients are way essential. Okay, these are way essential with respective to the very growth. Okay, with respective to the very growth, or with respective to the various number of energy production for the immune function and for various other functions of the body. Okay, so hence to ensure its proper metabolism, to ensure the proper growth, to ensure the proper physical wealth, we could see these micronutrients are very much of essential as compared to the macronutrients. So if I tell about the macronutrients, तो macronutrients पे चला जाओ तो macronutrients क्या होते हैं? So macronutrients are the nutrients that provides the calories or the NREs that are required in large amount to maintain the body functions and carry out the day-to-day life. And hence we have got the three macronutrients which can be referred to as proteins, carbohydrates, as well as fats. You can see over here. Proteins, carbohydrates, as well as fats. So these are the three macronutrients which are very much essential for the very growth, for the very energy, or to maintain the various body functions. Okay, so these are the basic difference between a macronutrient as well as micronutrients. Okay. So the carbohydrate, fats, and proteins are called as macronutrients. The any item which has contained the three basic things which is known as the carbohydrate, fat, and protein, they are the carbohydrate, fat, and protein, they are known as the macronutrients. And anything other than this very three components is directly been associated with the micronutrients. And I have already told you about the type of the seven micronutrients which are very much essential for our body. Okay, तो यहाँ पे इसका definition ज़्यादा दिया हुआ है, so you can directly see it. Okay. Encephalitis. Okay. So encephalitis is directly, we all know that this may be very much referred, okay, or it is directly associated with the term or by the vector which is known as the mosquito, and is characterized by a high fever and inflammation of the brain. Okay, so this disease can be very much fine or very much prevalent in the children as well as some of the young adults. Okay, and this may also lead to some of the morbidity as well as mortality. Okay, so hence we can see that these very causative agents are the viruses. Okay, and you cannot even directly prevent it with even a vaccine. Okay, so it can directly associate it with the Japanese encephalitis virus. Okay, it can associate it with the Nipah virus. You can associate it with the Zika virus. You can associate it with the West Nile virus. Okay, so all these are very much essential with respect to this very acute encephalitis. Okay, so these are all with respect to the Japanese Nipah. Okay, you can read this very thing. Coming with the very polio. Okay, so even the rubella as well as measles, these are also some of the viral infections. Okay, coming with the polio, we could see this is directly associated with the poliomyelitis. Okay, and this is directly associated with the infantile paralysis, because if you are directly not ridden with the polio drops, okay, we can see that the very virus destroys the nerve cells, which are, because your spinal cord is the main element, okay, with respective to your paralysis thing. So the virus destroys the nerve cells in the spinal cord, which causes the muscle wasting and which leads to the paralysis. Hence, this poliomyelitis is very much of an infectious disease, okay, where the virus does destroys and makes someone paralyzed. So we have got three wild types of poliovirus, which is directly associated with the type 1, type 2, and type 3. Okay, and people needs to be protected against all these three type of viruses in order to prevent this type of polio disease. Okay, so hence this polio disease is directly associated with the type of the polio drops. Okay, so if you have this polio drops, okay, which can be also been referred to as the दो बूंद जिंदगी की. So this दो bund is very much essential to protect you from all the types of polio diseases that can be caused by the type of virus. Okay. Then coming with the dengues, airborne mosquito, this mosquito borne. Okay. So it's the same type of virus. Okay. Then if I'm going with the chikungunya, it's also a type of the viral disease. Okay, which is directly associated with the joint pains. Okay. So this is a type also with the respective with the mosquitoes. Okay. Then coming with the universal immunization program. When I come with the universal immunization program, you can see there are various vaccines in associated with the types of diseases which can be very much preventable by a vaccine. Okay, you can see the tuberculosis at the very first time. Okay, it is directly the vaccine is the BCG, which is known as the Bacillus calmette-guerin. Okay. Then the DPT, okay, DPT, diphtheris, pertussis as well as tetanus. Okay, this is the DPT vaccine only. Okay, then poliomyelitis, OPV, oral polio vaccine. Okay, or inactivated polio vaccine. Hepatitis B, we have got the vaccine. Measles, we have got the same vaccine. Tetanus, which is known as the tetanus toxoid, TT. Okay, if you directly supposedly हमको कहीं पे कट हो गया, okay, supposedly कहीं पे खेल रहे, कहीं पे कूद रहे, तो हम लोग का थोड़ा कट हो गया. तो कट के टाइम में supposedly हम लोग को वहाँ पे थोड़ा कहीं पे जंग लगा हुआ था. Okay, so this may leads to the very disease which is very much of deadly event, tetanus. Okay, so therefore tetanus toxoid is very much of essential, TT. इसके बाद तो मैंने बोला था इन्फ्लुएंजा टाइप ऑफ वैक्सीन. ओके, सो इस इन्फ्लुएंजा टाइप ऑफ वैक्सीन में हम लोग का पेंटावलेंट वैक्सीन आता है. तो यहाँ पे सब चीज आता है, डीपीटी आता है, हेपेटाइटिस बी आता है, HIV आता है. तो ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स आर स्पेशली एसोसिएटेड विद दिस टाइप ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंजा टाइप ऑफ वायरस. फिर रोटावायरस आता है, फिर मीजल्स रूबेला, फिर जापानी सेल्फाइटिस. ओके, तो जापानी सेल्फाइटिस में एडल्ट जनरली एडल्ट को दिया जाता है जापानी सेल्फाइटिस. ओके, सो दीस आर द टाइप्स ऑफ वैक्सीन व्हिच यू कैन सी इन दिस वेरी मैप. ओके, इसके बाद आता है हम लोग का एक मिशन व्हिच इज नोन एज द मिशन इंद्रधनुष. तो ये जो मिशन इंद्रधनुष है, ओके, दिस इज अ टाइप ऑफ वैक्सीन प्रोग्राम. ओके, जो इट इज डायरेक्टली लॉन्च्ड बाय द वेरी गवर्नमेंट इन द टाइम ऑफ 2014. ओके, सो ये जो मिशन इंद्रधनुष है, ये मिशन इंद्रधनुष इज अ वेरी क्रूशियल और इट्स डायरेक्टली now been called as the intensified mission Indradhanush program because now we are directly in the phase 2 and to mark the 25 years of the pulse polio program. Okay, so this immunization program which has been started right after 1978, okay, and by the time of 1985 we directly made a very promise of the expanded program of immunization, okay, which has been declared by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to go with the very process of immunizing the very people with respect to our country. So this mission Indradhanush was envisaged to rapidly increase the full immunization coverage to around 90%. Okay, so 90% तक हम लोग को सब immunization करना पड़ेगा सब चीज में. Okay, be it the DPT, be it the bacillus, okay, be it particularly the polio vaccine, be it particularly the respectively the tuberculosis, be it respectively the measles. Okay, so यहाँ पे हम लोग सोचे कि like this particular mission Indradhanush targets some around people under the 2 years of age, okay, and also the people or also the ladies who are pregnant. Okay, so that's why this very program is basically for providing vaccination against 12 vaccine preventable diseases, that is diphtheria, whooping cough, tetanus, polio, tuberculosis, hepatitis B, meningitis, pneumonia, Haemophilus influenza type B, Japanese encephalitis, rotavirus, pneumococcal conjugate vaccine, that is the PCV, and the measles rubella. Okay, so in this very type, you could see that these are the 12 vaccines or these are the 12 diseases which has been identified, which are at least vaccine preventable diseases. Okay, so ये जब करते करते हम लोग देखे हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा अचीव कर लिए हैं, तो धीरे धीरे हम लोग 2017 में इसका दूसरा भाग हम लोग ने स्टार्ट किया, दैट इज नोन एज द इंटेंसिफाइड मिशन इंद्रधनुष. एंड in this intensified mission Indradhanush, the greater focus has been given on the urban areas, which has one of the gaps of the mission Indradhanush. क्योंकि मिशन इंद्रधनुष में हम लोग ज्यादा फोकस कहाँ किए थे, रूरल एरियाज में किए थे, लेकिन इसमें हम लोग अर्बन एरियाज को भी फोकस करेंगे. Okay, and hence we can see that during the time period until 2018-2019, we have seen that 90% of this mission Indradhanush program has been implemented. Okay, and you could see then by the time of 2020, the intensified mission Indradhanush has reached the target of even 70%. Okay, and the target of 90% is yet to be achieved. ओके, सो ये जो इंटेंसिफाइड मिशन है, इसका मिशन है 100% को इम्यूनाइज करना, लेकिन अभी तक हम लोग 70% तक ही पहुंच पाए। Okay, so this is all in respective with the type of mission Indradhanush, okay, which is directly making the people under the age of 2 years or actually the pregnant mothers, so that they directly can be ridden with the type of the vaccines. Okay, that is, they are directly not ridden with the type of the vaccines or not the type of the diseases, sorry, which can be directly been prevented with the use of the vaccine. ओके, सो इसके लिए हम लोग ये सारा हम लोग यूज किए। ओके, so there are various types of initiatives also to directly go with the very process. You can see for TB, AIDS, leprosy, malaria, we have the Swasthya Gurukul. Then we have the Nikshay for the period of the people who are TB patients database. Okay, then Sehat, social endeavor for health and telemedicine. Okay, हम लोग पे फोन वोन करके भी हम लोग कुछ पूछ सकते हैं. Okay, to provide some of the healthcare services to the citizens. Okay, that is to consult, that is the rural areas, consult doctors online for the type of the diseases that they are directly not suffering from, who cannot directly come to the very cities for the treatment purposes. Okay, then we have got the Sugam, okay, which directly goes with the tracking, processing, and grant of approval for drugs, okay, medical devices, okay, vaccines, etc. Okay, then we have the Kilkari. It delivers free time appropriate audio messages about pregnancy, childbirth, and childcare directly to the families via mobile phones. Okay, फिर आता है ई औषधि. EOCD में क्या है? It is directly associated with the management of stock of various drugs, okay, surgical items, okay. तो ये सब होता है. Then mother and child tracking system. So it is a name-based tracking system to ensure all pregnant mothers receive their antenatal care checkups and children receive free immunization. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है? जैसे एक मदर एक पर्टिकुलर इंस्टीट्यूशंस में डिलीवर किए, फिर जब घर चले जाए तो उसके बाद जब टीकाकरण करना होता है, इम्यूनाइजेशन करना होता है, वैक्सीन दिलाना होता है, तो उस टाइम the mother and child will be tackled, will be very much tracked by the respective institutions. Okay, तो उनका एजेंट्स रहेंगे, सपोजली आशास रहेंगे, जीएनएम्स रहेंगे, तो उनको जाके बताएंगे, ट्रैक करेंगे कि आपने ये टीका लिया या नहीं, आपने ये टीका बच्चे को दिलाया या नहीं. तो एवरीथिंग विल बी डायरेक्टली बीन ट्रैक्ड अपॉन थ्रू दिस MCPS. Okay, so that everyone receives a free immunization in their due time. Okay, so all this type of things that is associated. उसके बाद इंटरनेशनल इनिशिएटिव्स रहता है, that is the one health approach. Okay, हम लोग का WHO के साथ कोलैबोरेशंस होता है. ओके, हम लोग अवेयरनेस वीक्स रखते हैं. ओके, so there are various incentives. Okay, फिर उसके बाद हम लोग का इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ने भी बहुत सारा इंटेंसिव निकाला है. नेशनल हेल्थ पॉलिसी ऑफ 2017, रेड लाइन कैंपेन ऑफ एंटीबायोटिक्स. ओके, there are various number of national action plan. Okay, so सब चीज रहता है. Okay, so in this due process we have seen that the health and diseases has been a very important element with respect to the type what we have seen in the recent past. Okay, क्योंकि ये जो एलिमेंट है ये हम लोग के लिए बहुत नेसेसरी है. ये जो टाइप्स है, ये जो डिजीजेस है, इसको इससे हम लोग को, सिटीजन्स को, हम लोग का पूरा इंडिया, पूरा कंट्री को, बच्चे को, माँ को, सबको बचाना है, ताकि हम लोग का मॉर्टल मैटरनिटी रेट कम हो जाए, इन्फेंट मॉर्टलिटी रेट कम हो जाए. ओके, एंड वी डायरेक्टली एक्सेस और वी डायरेक्टली गो एज अ वेरी पावरफुल कंट्री इन रेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द हेल्थ. ओके, तो आज के लिए I will directly end it over here. Okay, I have discussed various parts with associated with the diseases. Okay, with respect to the biotechnology. Okay, with respect to the various chronic diseases, with respect to the vitamins as well as minerals. Okay, so एक बार revise कर लेना. Okay, you will get this very PPT with respect from the institution. Okay, so thank you all and have a great night. Okay, good night.